Okay, here's another quick little video, just to let you know. Um, this is the mechanical interfaces model, and it uses the Launch Enterprise Structures library. And so what I did was I went into that library and I took the category A envelope block, which had nothing in it, and I added three things. I added two value properties, one which is the vertical dimension of the category A envelope in inches, although they didn't have inches, so I just used real numbers. That's 197.5, and the horizontal dimension of 147.6. Because if you look at the oh crap, um, if you look at the requirement diagram and look at the payload envelope, so there's the 197.5 and there's the 147.6. Okay, so this shows that the 313 payload envelopes analysis inherits from category A envelope, and I built a diagram here that shows that. So what I did was, once I created in the library these value properties, I also went down to the payload, and under payload exterior surfaces I added two value properties, payload height and payload diameter. And then I saved it and then updated the project usages. And once I did that, you can see that the payload envelopes analysis inherits these two value properties from the structures block, vertical dimension, horizontal dimension. And I also created, if I go back here to the library, I also created a constraint block. And that constraint block is called cat A constraint, and it has this constraint in it: payload height less than vertical dimension segment 1, and payload diameter less than horizontal dimension segment 1. So that's a constraint that exists in the library, which is a used project. So the only thing that's not a used project on this BDD is this block right here. So what I did was I went up to the block itself, this one here, and I created another parametric diagram underneath that block. And when I did, I'll just show you what it does. Parametric diagram. It gives me all of the, see, there's the horizontal dimension, there's the vertical dimension, there's the cat A constraint. So I'm going to cancel that because I already did that. Let's see, I don't want to do that. So it's this one here. So I deleted all the other ones because I was interested in these, because it created this parametric diagram. So these two value properties are from the used project, from the library, right down here. See, vertical dimension, horizontal dimension. This cat A constraint is the cat A constraint that's under the cat A envelope. But now watch what happens when I try to connect these things up. I go in here and I try to create a parameter, and look what happens. It's not allowing me to create a parameter. So I can't even build a parametric diagram using constraints that are in a used project, even constraints that are under a block that is a inherits properties. So, for example, you can see that the block inherited this cat A constraint because it's got four constraint properties. And this fourth one, cat A constraint, is that one there, which is in the library. So I'm stymied. I don't know how to get around this, but my thought was to build value properties and constraints into the library of the structures, the physical structure of the system, because that's what the sys represents. And then individual models could be instantiations. Like I could build instance tables that are classified by several blocks to include both payload and launch vehicle structures, and then bring in instance data specifically for that mission. So I'm just trying to think of a way to do this first in SysML and then in UAF.